Welcome in, everybody, to episode 286 of the Dream Wager on this lovely Monday afternoon, July 10th, 2023. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me, our NBA guru, my partner in crime, Elvis Acosta. How you doing today, kid?
Dill, how you doing? Kind of a stressful day. Went through something at work that was not practical at all. Your boy ran out of gas in his truck. Went through a mission for like 30 minutes, but we made it back. Made it on time for the show, and that's all that matters.
It's all that matters. The worst is I ran out of gas one time. Thankfully, it was like a block away from the gas station, so I wasn't too bad, and I was able to get over to the side of the road. But man, in this heat, it was a hot one today, kid. It's not ideal. I'll tell you that.
Think about it. I'm in a 26-foot truck, and cops had to come so I could be helped. So it was bad.
It was bad.
But
What's going on?
No tickets, nothing. Everything was good. So we good.
What's going on, Z players? Yeah, we got a good show today. I know it's All Star weekend. We got the home run derby tonight, All Star game tomorrow. Got a few days off in baseball. WNBA All Star games coming up as well. But today, thankfully, we start the 2 days. It will take us all the way up into preseason. I think a week before the season starts. So can't wait to get into that a little later on in the show. But Elvis, let's start with Victor Wembanyama. I think you called it, right? He had a good game.
Possibly. I'm pretty sure on the stat line I said it wouldn't shock me if in game 2 he goes for like 27, 12, and 3 with 3 blocks.
I think that's what his stat line was. He had 27 points. He had 3 blocks, 12 rebounds. He shot 58% from the floor. He shot 50% from 3. A much better game. They still lost. I really wanted to see him not go against because they really won't be able to guard each other. But it would have been cool to see Scoot Henderson out there as well.
Yeah. I heard Scoot has like a shoulder injury or something, so he might be the summer league. But what I saw from Victor Dill is what I wanted to see in game 1. I didn't want to see the explosion. But what I saw from the 3-point range and especially the mid range, I was like, wow, this kid actually can shoot. So I was just impressed. You gotta remember though, he's only 19 years old, and the fact that he's able to shoot and confidently shooting like that already, that's impressive. At his size, and he got that skill level deal, was impressive. 12 boys, 3 blocks. He's probably gonna average 3 to 4 blocks in the NBA, Bill. So that's
easy.
He's like I say, he's going to be very destructive down low. So that's going to be the key defensive wise for the Spurs, because anybody's going to drive. They got to remember, you got a 7'4" monster down low. So anybody that's going to driving towards him going to have to make some acrobatic shot. So great game by him, blew me off. Expectations were made, and now the Spurs will shut him down for the rest of the summer league. Shocker.
That was my question. We got one bad game. Dust the cobwebs off, but then we got a really good game, and we saw glimpses of how good this kid could be. Granted, it was against summer league players, but I am curious as to why they did shut him down. I kind of wanted to see him a little more. Why?
I wanted to see him one more game too, but it's not out of the norm. We've seen last season Paulo get shut down after just 2 amazing games. The year before that, Anthony Edwards didn't even participate in summer league, so it's nothing out the norm. The fact that we was able to get 2 games, thankful for that deal. I think the Spurs was like, you know what? We saw it. If we would have saw back-to-back horrific game, I'm not going to say horrific. Just first overall.
Disappointing.
Yeah. Disappointing games. I would have been like, all right, I think he plays the rest of the summer league. But the fact that he was able to just hit the switch like that in 2 days and go and be as efficient, 3 blocks, 27, 12 rebounds. Still, you can't ask nothing more. He's 19. That's what people gotta remember. He's 19.
He's still raw. There's still some things to work on. Popovich just got an extension, 5 years, by the way. My thing is
no state tax in Texas now.
No state taxes in Texas. My thing is, I didn't even honestly expect him to be around 5 more years coaching. I expect him to coach 5 more years, but I think once he got Victor, he goes, I need to be around this kid for a little bit.
How old is Popovich? I'm about to Google that.
My boy Z-Play is talking about we need an over-under for posters. Ooh, I'll set the line at 12. On him? 12 and a half? I'll take the over.
Nah. Realistically, Dill, under Greg Popovich, you only go play around like 60, 65 games. No back-to-backs. We know
Yeah.
this. We know how Greg Popovich rocks. I'm going to say at least 8 to 10. 8 to 10. Just because I say he only plays 60, 65 games. If he plays 082, I agree with you. It might be, yeah.
And I'm gonna take the over. If it is at 8.5, I'll take the over. Imagine they put a prop out or for that for over under for posters for Victor Wembanyama. I gotta take the over because we saw in the first game they went
Yeah,
right at him.
yeah, but they'll also these kids are in the prime. They're
Of
all
course.
19, 18, and they can all jump out the gym.
Yeah.
You know, there's not too many players. I'm not gonna say too many, but nightly basis, there's not gonna be more than 3 or 4 players that are gonna be honestly able to jump over the kid.
Yeah, no, it was very interesting. But yeah,
Yeah,
good
Grant
that
74, by the way. So he got a contract where he's 79. Shout out Pop. Honestly, shout out Pop and his agent, because my man's getting money till he's 79.
yeah, that's amazing. And I think getting Victor definitely steered him to coming back, because they had a really bad year last year.
They haven't made the playoffs since they traded Kawhi. It's been,
Yeah,
4 years? 2019, the Raptors won the championship?
yeah, 4 years. Wow.
Come on now, Pop. It's a fireball fence.
That's the best ever. But yeah, other than that, nothing really to really talk about over the weekend. Kind of a lackluster weekend, but to UFC 290, I know it's not AKP, but you watched it with us. Overall thoughts on the card. Did you watch the main event after you went home?
Dill, pure domination by Alexander the Great. Third,
Yeah.
when he dazed him with the left and then he scooped him, I was like, stop it down. You saw how easily, like, the dude weighted 100. He had to weigh 100 pounds. How easy he scooped him, Dill. And right then and there, how hard he slammed him, I just knew he was over it because he was dazed. So great UFC. I wish that would have been in Newark, Dill.
Oh
See
my
the
god.
shirt said, I wish that fight card was in Newark. We would have been there. I would have still been there.
Yeah, UFC 288. Elvis and I attended in Newark, New Jersey. It was it was still a good event, but
it was good. It wasn't great.
Nah, it wasn't like International Fight Week. They try to put out for this one. It's the biggest one of the year. But you're right. Alexander, he hit him with the right, got him against the cage, scooped him, and I said, yo, Herb's getting close to stopping this fight. So
I told you, Herb let bro eat like 15 punches and then he called it.
I mean, I agree to the point. If it's a championship fight, you give him a little more leeway.
Nah, but the way he scooped him up, so he didn't even defend the scoop.
It's effortlessly.
Yeah, it was. It looked like me scooping my niece. That's how.
Your boy did lose and knew Alexander Pantoja.
Still, give credit to Pantoja, man. Yo, one thing I want people to understand what he said. He said, "My mom raised me and my brother and my sister alone. My dad left. He said, Dad, are you proud now? Are you proud of me?" Yo, I
got chills just thinking about that.
Yo, bro, for the people out there that probably didn't come through similar situations, that's some real shit right there. I'm just
Yeah, no, you gotta
a fan just off that quote, not even off the fight, off that.
And he went on Ariel Helwani's show today, the MMA Hour, and he was saying 2 fights ago, about a year and a half ago, he was still working Uber Eats until he got that fight of the night bonus against Brandon Rovell. He got that $50,000, and then he finally had enough to quit that job. So just think about that. A top 5 guy in the UFC, you're thinking here making good money. He was out there working Uber Eats during training camp. So it's just an amazing story. It's such an easy guy to root for. I am very happy. I still like Brandon Moreno. I think Mexico, it's unfortunate 2 of their champions lost that night. But, Brandon Moreno's still up there. You just got to give credit where credit's due. Alexander Pantoja, just some guys have their number. He's 3-0 against Brandon Moreno. Robert Whittaker, I did not see that coming. Dracus du Plessis is here. And they set up that middleweight bout between Izzy.
They don't need promotion. The promotion, no. They don't need to edit nothing. They just gotta play that clip. Play the clip.
They set it up like how they set up Sean O'Malley and Aljo when we were at 288. Yeah. Dan Hooker, Jalen Turner, what a fight that was. Oh my God. I thought Dan Hooker, he ate that kick. I thought he was done.
Yo, like I said, arguably one of the best pay-per-view fights we see in the last. Honestly, it's been some great ones, especially in the early '80s. But
Yeah.
in recent ones, pretty great.
Yeah, 290 was spectacular. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a great weekend. Did you bet anything this weekend? How's your last 7 days been?
Your boy went 3-on-1 in Saturday show MLB. Your damn Mets couldn't cover the run and a half.
Oh man.
Your boy, hold on. Come on, man. It's dog of the day that day. Hold on. Last 7 day, 9-4, people. Tread lightly. Tread lightly. Hold on.
Okay.
Your Mets blew it, though. Y'all lost 3-1.
I
Under
know.
team under should have been the play. But I took Houston money line, Diamondbacks money line, and then Baltimore plus 108 money line. Your Mets. Come on, man. I needed that 4-0.
Yeah, they went 6-0, and after talking to you, they lost 2 straight. So
The Red Sox officially hottest team in the majors.
oh man, of course the Mets. So they blew that 6-game lead all for nothing. They went into the All-Star break losing 2 in a row. Yeah, for me, last 7 days, 33 and 26, up 7 units. Had a good Saturday. Yesterday, 4 and 5. I was down a unit. All good. WNBA it's been hit or miss for me lately. But yeah, Storms, he almost had the Storm money line. Almost had the Storm money line.
14.5 is too much.
I took it at 16.5 during the show. I think it closed at 14.5. Yeah, we covered there. We get there on the under as well. So that hit. Julie Lloyd didn't. I think she had 1 basket in the second half. So if she just shoots the way she shot in the first half, the Storm are live. They were live the whole game. So credit to the Storm. They almost got there. Z players almost had the Storm money line. That would have been a nice little ticket there.
What, 1,400, I think.
Yeah, something nice like that. But Elvis, let's get into it. Let's get to we'll start in the home run derby just because, it's going down tonight, All-Star games tomorrow. There's a bunch of different things. You could do the outright winners. There's round 1 matchups. There's a bunch of different props like I get like home run derby specials, any player to hit a home run over 499.5 feet. I will caution people, Seattle is not a home run ballpark. There's only been 92 home runs this season. So tread lightly, I would say. I got a few that I have. What's the one that I really like? Yeah, the longest distance home run I got at 490.5 feet. Took that under.
Yeah, last year I went over. I think it was like 504.5. So it was something like that. And
that was at Dodger Stadium where Juan Soto he had a day.
Yeah, and regardless, it didn't go down. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna lean with that. Honestly, I'm gonna go with the under as well. I doubt anybody hits it over 500. 500 is a fucking mile.
Yeah, so it is a bracket style. So number 1, Luis Robert Jr., he'll take on the 8th seed, just like a regular bracket. He'll take on Aldi Rutschmanson from Orioles. Adolis Garcia, he will take on Randy Arozarena. That's the 4 and 5 matchup. 2-7 is Pete Alonso and Julio Rodriguez. And then 3 and 6 is Mookie Betts and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I got some trends here before we get into this. Only 5 players have won the home run derby and recorded most of the home runs in the regular season the same year. The home run derby champion has come from the National League the past 5 years. The home run derby title has been shared by 2 players twice in the event, 1986 and 1989. 3 players, Ken Griffey Jr., Yoenis Cespedes, and Pete Alonso are the only players to successfully defend their home run title in back-to-back years. Juan Soto is not in it, so he can't defend it. So let's start with the round 1 matchups. Like I said, first one is Luis Roberts Jr.'s taking on Aldi Rutschmanson. Right now, you could parlay them as well because some of them are extremely high favorites, like over a $2 favorite. So Luis Robert Jr. is a minus 230 favorite. Rutschmanson is a plus 184. Who do you got advancing in the first round?
Still, you gotta go with Lewis, to be honest. I don't have official play with it. Like I said, 230 is a little rich for me, so I'll still away from it. But you gotta go with Lewis in the first round, though.
Yeah, I'm taking Lewis as well to advance. He's tied for third most home runs in the league right now. He has 26. So he's hitting the ball. He has the second most home runs since June 1st behind Shohei Ohtani, but Shohei Ohtani's not real. I wish he was in the home run derby, to be honest. That would be sick. But yeah, I got him advancing. I think old Rutschman, he's having a good year. He's just not a home run hitter type of guy. But he is gonna have the crowd behind him. He's from the Portland area, so he will have that support there. Let's go to the same side, but we'll just go down the list. Adolis Garcia. This is the most even, I guess, matchup in the bracket so far against Randy Arozarena. Randy Arozarena has some experience in this home run derby. He is at even money right now. Adolis Garcia is at minus 122. Who do you like coming in out of this bracket?
I like Randy just because of the experience, like you said, I do believe Garcia. I think he deserves to be the favorite, but I think Randy has a pretty good shot at advancing. So I'm gonna be honest, and at plus money, I think I'm gonna have to take Randy to advance the second round.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's just this team for the Rays are just been so good, so dynamic. He doesn't really need to hit home runs. He's capable. We've seen it in the World Baseball Classic, tough clutch home runs, even last season in the playoffs, getting big hits when they're needed. I just like Adolis Garcia here. I think he should be the favorite, like you were mentioning. So I'm gonna take him. It's a very good price at minus 122 as well. So gonna lock that in right now. On the other side of the bracket, two-time winner Pete Alonso. He is the minus 152 favorite against Julio Rodriguez, plus 124. Quick stat on Pete Alonso. He is changing his the guy throwing it to him. I don't want to say coach, but I guess the guy throwing him BP. He's changing his pitcher. So
Oh yeah.
Fade. I'm fading Pete Alonso here. Give me Julio Rodriguez plus 124 to come out. Julio has had success. He had a great showing last year where he knocked off Pete in the first or second round. So I'm gonna take Julio Rodriguez. He has the power. It's in his home stadium. So I don't like it. And Pete is hitting like 180, 184 since June 1st. He needs a mental break. I've expressed that I don't even want him doing this. So I'm going to take Julio Rodriguez right now. How about you?
Give me Julio, and that's one of my plays for the Derby. Julio Rodriguez, first round, plus 124.
Yeah, no, I like that play a lot. And I wish we found out I think about a few hours before we went live that he changed pitchers. Yesterday, we could have got Julio. If we had inside sources, he was at like plus 180. Pete Alonso was like a $2 favorite. But once this happened, we started to see steam coming in from for Julio, for rightfully so. So yeah, I got it a little late, but I'm riding with the underdog in this one. And then the last one, I think this side of the bracket is insane. You got Mookie Betts taking on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vlad minus 215 plus 172. Now Mookie, it's the opposite. Kind of like how I was saying with Adolis Garcia. I'm taking him because he's having a much better season. Mookie Betts, he's raking the ball. He's tied for third in most home runs. He has 26 home runs, tied with Pete Alonso and Luis Roberts. But I'm going to take Vlad here. The experience, Mookie's the type of guy where he even came out and said, oh, my wife's making me do this. I really didn't have any interest in doing it. I don't think he's in there to win. Like Pete Alonso takes this competition serious. Mookie Betts has rings and things. He's not worried about that. He's worried about getting a championship. So I'm going to take Vlad Guerrero Jr. in this one. How about you?
Still, I'm going to go with Vlad Guerrero. Not because I don't think he's gonna go for the win, because you gotta say my man's a bowling champion as well. So Derby will also look cute on the shelf with all the other championships he got. But I think Vlad Guerrero I think he's gonna go out there and try to go out and go win it. That's my thing, Dill. So I like Vlad first round. Dill, this is one of the few times I'll honestly consider betting $2. Just because I feel like he's going to go out there and try to win and possibly store all his energy in the first round.
Yeah.
If that happens. But I do expect him to go out there and try to win.
Yeah, so so we got now. Who do you have? For me, I have Luis Roberts advancing, taking on Adolis Garcia, and I have Luis Roberts advancing to the finals. And then I have Julio Rodriguez taking on Vlad Jr. Sorry, Seattle. I got Vlad Jr. So I got Luis Robert and Vlad Jr. in the final. Who do you got going to the final?
I got Julio Rodriguez in the finals versus Vlad Guerrero.
They're on the same
Oh,
side. You need
my fault. Julio Rodriguez versus Adonis Garcia.
okay. So I kind of covered my bases. I kind of took two predictions. I took Luis Garcia at plus 450, and I also took Vlad Guerrero Jr. as well as plus 370 as well. So I think I like Luis Garcia. He's a competitor, and I think he has the easiest pathway. Like I said, that side of the bracket isn't as hard as the right side of the bracket. Alonso has to face Julio Rodriguez in the first round, and then if he does pass him, he has to verse Mookie Betts or Vlad Guerrero. Like Vlad has to Luis Roberts has to verse Aldi, and who isn't really a power hitter, like I mentioned. And then he has to verse Adolis Garcia or Randy Rosarena. So, I think at plus 450, I think there is some value with him. Roberts, like I said, he's second in the majors since June 1st. He has 12 home runs since that. Shohei Ohtani has 16. So I'm getting the number one overall seed at longer odds than the two other hitters on the other side of the bracket. I just feel like that's too much value. So my first prediction for an outright winner is Luis Roberts Jr. at plus 450. How about you?
Still, give me the hometown kid, Julio Rodriguez at plus 500 to win it all, Dill. I love what I saw last year in the first two rounds. He put on a show, Dill. I expect him to come back with that same energy, have a little more gas in the tank for the final round, and win it all, Dill. Give me Julio at plus 500.
Yeah, Zipa is talking about value on first-time participants to win the Derby. I would say yes, to be honest. Vlad is a recurring contestant, but there's a chance he might get knocked out. I would sprinkle a little. Just like these are all pizza bets. I wouldn't ever advise anyone to go and hey, put a full unit on today. No, this is just pizza bets. Like
This is
have
just
some lunch.
chill, have fun.
Yeah.
124 with Julio in the first round, and plus 500 win it all.
Yeah, it's just nice to have. It's just nice to have a little action on something you're watching, especially like, say, for example, say you have Luis Roberts and he does get upset. Say, God forbid, he gets upset in the first round. And then you're like, oh fuck, I don't want to watch the home run derby. My bet's done. You're gonna be sick. So there are other props in this home run derby to keep you entertained throughout, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But my other prediction, I'm gonna take Vlad Guerrero Jr. I think he could win it all. He does have a really tough matchup in the first round against Mookie, but Vlad, he's not having his best season. I think he only has 13 home runs, but he's making incredible contact. His barrel rate is extremely high. Only 3 players have a higher exit velocity than Vlad. One of them being Ronald Acuna Jr. He's having a career year as well. So, I expect Vlad to be aggressive tonight. Guerrero, he has the single home run record when he mashed 91 home runs in 2019. He only lost because he needed 40 in the semis to beat Jock Peterson, and he could only get 22 in the finals versus Alonso. But, the name of the game is the long ball, and I think Vlad is still one of the best to do it when hitting the long ball. So at plus 370, I think there's some value at Vlad Guerrero Jr. as well. So going to take Vlad Guerrero Jr. as my second pick to win. Do you have a second one?
No, I do, but I do agree with you. I do like Vlad. I like I said, I like either Vlad or Julio. Those are my two favorites, but I think the hometown kid does it. And remember, though, first round last year, he put on a show. He put on a show, so that
would be cool.
Back of my mind, and I expect him to even put on a little bigger a show in the home crowd, and he's gonna have the crowd with him.
Yeah, no, that'd be very cool to see. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not rooting for the guy to be honest, but it would be cool if Julio Rodriguez did win the home run derby. See, there's other things like play your round one total home runs. So the total home runs they hit in the first round. For example, Pete Alonso's is at 21.5. I would hit the over. That's at minus 108. I do think he comes out and he hits about 21 home runs. Luis Roberts is at 17.5. Like some of them are really short. Julio Rodriguez is at 23.5. Adolis Garcia is at 19 just to hit 20 home runs. I mean, those, I even Rutschmanson, Aldi Rutschmanson. I'm not picking him to come out of the first round, but only for him to hit 18.5 home runs in the first round. I think there's some value there as well. And some of these are plus money. So there are a lot of interesting props for the home run derby. Like I said, I'm gonna take the distance of the longest home run. I'm gonna take that under. That's gonna be a full unit play for me, under 490.5 feet. Just because Seattle Mariners stadium is not a hitter's ballpark. Nowhere, even last year at Dodger Stadium, I think the closest home or the longest home run last year was around 470, 475-ish. It didn't even get to 480. Now this is a pitcher's ballpark, and they want to go 490. Yeah, give me the under on that. that might be a full unit play for me. But
one last prop I like, Dill.
Yeah.
Player to hit the longest home run. It just has to be the longest still. I like two players. I like Vlad Guerrero and I like your boy Pete Alonso, just because I do believe Pete Alonso will get knocked out the first round, but it wouldn't shock me if the polar bear hits at 480. So give me Pete Alonso at plus 340 and Vlad Guerrero at plus 240 to hit the longest home run of the night.
Yeah, I like that one as well, especially because they have the experience. Don't mind out Julio too. He knows the ballpark. He knows which way to hit it. I don't know if the roof will be open. It's a dome, but the roof might be open.
If Seattle, it rains a lot, so I don't know. If it's gonna be real windy or possibly slight rain or drizzle, they probably just close it.
Yeah, I do like Z players talking about in the chat total combined distance 22 miles. That's deep. I might have to hit the under on that just on principle. 22 miles is crazy, like combined.
Isn't that like 110,000 feet?
Feet? You're asking the wrong kid, bud. Yeah, I waited to the last semester of my college career to do math. So you're asking the wrong guy for that. But yeah, I'll probably hit under. I'm gonna have a bunch of plays, and the cool thing about these plays is that it keeps you invested through the whole home run derby. Just don't pick outright winners. Pick the longest person to hit a home run. Pick the total home runs, 276 home runs. Do you think there'll be more than 200? I don't know. So I would take the under on that. To me, that's a lot of home runs.
Especially if the dome is open,
under. My thing is my favorite memory growing up watching it. Chris Berman led back.
Yo, you know what's my favorite moment?
Huh?
It has to be Josh Hamilton at Yankee Stadium.
Oh my god!
When he hit like 28 in the first round.
And that's what sucks. He didn't even win it. That was in 2008 at Yankee Stadium. Justin Morneau won that.
Justin Morneau, yep.
What you know about Justin Morneau? That's my man.
Started to win the division. What I know about
that's when the Twins were good, bro. Holy shit! When the first year he got back from, I think he was doing heroin or some shit, right?
Josh Hamilton.
Yeah,
he was coked up with the coach. Washington. Like that.
Yo, that's wild. I remember that, and it was like a wholesome moment. His family was there.
Close. 116,000. I said 110.
Oh, 110. You were close. Okay, 116,000. Thank you for that. But yeah, I thought that was a wholesome memory. 2008. I remember that like the back of my mind. Then the next year, you have Prince Fielder win it. Whatever happened to Prince Fielder?
And that was Detroit, wasn't it?
That was 2009, Busch Stadium, St. Louis.
Oh, I thought you won in Detroit. I remember.
No. Yeah, your Big Papi won it in 2010.
In Pittsburgh, right?
No, in Anaheim.
Oh, Anaheim.
Then Robinson Cano won it in Chase Field. I think that's Chase Field. I want to say that's Texas.
Chase Field. That might be the old Twin Stadium, bro.
Yeah, it might be.
That might be the Dome.
Yeah, because now it's
something else. Yeah,
it's Target Field because the headquarters of Target is in Minneapolis. Oh,
It's
wow.
cold.
But then I remember, like, in high school when Yoenis Cespedes started bugging.
Bugging.
When he went in City Field, he was the winner in 2013. Then he went back in 2014 and won again. Yeah, there were great times watching it, man. I love the home run derby, to be honest, man. I love it. And then the next day, let's get to it. The All Star Game in Seattle. Trying to get to it. Jesus. Okay, yeah. So minus 112 for the American League. Garrett Cole will get the start for the American League. Zach. I mean, I know he's a Yankee fan, but he definitely deserves it. He's had a good year so far. And then on the other side for the National League, they are minus 104 short dogs. Zach Allen of the Arizona Diamondbacks, New Jersey boy. He will get the start for the National League. Over under is at 7.5. Elvis, sidewise, how are you looking at this game? You taking the American League? I know you're a Red Sox fan, but don't blindly bet the American League now.
Yo, I'm gonna roll with the NL this year.
Wow.
Let me rephrase that. I'm leaning towards going with the NL. Money's not on the books yet, people. But if money's gonna be placed tomorrow, it's gonna be at the Nationals at plus 100. Deal. Gotta go with the National League deal. Just because I expect big players to make big things. It wouldn't shock me if Mookie's the MVP. It wouldn't shock me. You know, he hits a nice double, breaks somebody, or even hits another home run, you know, in a 6th or 7th. It wouldn't shock me, though. So give me the NL on the money line plus 100.
Yeah. Oh, you got it at even money. That's even better. Yeah, shop around because the book I'm looking at is at minus 104. I agree. I actually think the National League should be the favorite, especially since Mike Trout, Shohei, they're not playing. So they're gonna be there. They are if they didn't get hurt, they would have been starters. My thing is, remember I mentioned it a few weeks ago. I said Jonah Heim of the Texas Rangers, the kid should be an all-star. He's a fucking starter right now. So a lot of these Texas, Corey Seager's a starter. Josh Jung is a starter. Marcus Semien. It should be the Texas Rangers out there. But yeah, Aaron Judge, he got elected, but he's obviously not playing. I just think overall, there's better depth, there's better pitching in the National League. For example, you got Sean Murphy. He's one of the best hitting catchers in the league. I hate to say because he's a Brave, but Freddie Freeman, Luis Rice of the Marlins, he's almost hitting 400. The guy's a beast. Ronald Acuna Jr. is having a crazy year. Mookie Betts, Corbin Carroll, the rookie out of Arizona, he's having a stud year. Your boy JD Martinez, he's going to be the DH. And you got reserves like Pete Alonso. I know he's not having a good year, but Nick Castellanos, he's having an all right year. Juan Soto, Jorge Soler, Dansby Swanson, Austin Rock. Like, I just feel like they have the better team. They're deep. And the pitching. Zach Allen's going to start. Then Spencer Strider's going to come in. Mitch Keller, he's having a good year. Clayton Kershaw, Marcus Stroman, my boy Kodai Senga. I think they got Corbin Burns going and the bullpen. Like, I think that's a better pitching staff than I think Garrett Cole, Sonny Gray. Like, no disrespect. I like Sonny Gray, but
you know how LeBron would say the pitching for the American League is just starter top heavy. You know, the bullpen doesn't match up with the National League, and the game is going to come down to the last 3 innings because these pitchers are throwing an inning or two. So I just feel like, you know, the bullpen for the National League is just a little stronger, and then the bats for the National League is just a little deeper.
Yeah, 100%. And you mentioned the relievers. Kenley Jansen, yes, he's having a good year with Boston. Emmanuel Clase, he's a good closer, but he actually has to get into the opportunity to close it, as opposed with the National League where they're reserved. Alexi Diaz, Josh Hader, Devin Williams, Craig Kimball's having a good year with Philly. I just, like you said, I just think the depth and the quality of players are on the National League.
The inning age 6, 7.
It should be a close game, though. I'm not trying to say it's going to be a blowout for the National League. I do think it will be a close game. The total's low, 7.5. I remember when they didn't care and they used to take it as a joke, and the total used to be like 11, 10.5. Now it's at 7.5.
7-2.
I kind of like the over. I'm not going to lie.
I see like a 5-2 game, maybe 4-3.
Oh, wow.
I think it gets to 7. It could possibly get to 8 though. But like I said, the National League pitching rotation is stacked.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the bats is stacked for the AL. Don't get it twisted, but
Yeah.
the chances of getting a rally going, knocking two base runners in, it's unlikely. It's either going to be a solo or 2-run or home run max.
Yeah, I kind of see, like you were saying, like a 5.2. I kind of see like a 5.4, like a maybe a four, like a 5.4, 5.5, like a 6.5 type of
High,
game.
high.
That's high, I know, but I just think the bats are gonna break out. Maybe
I hope.
I hope too. So I love it, but I can't wait for it, to be honest, man. The National League, let's bring this home because the winner does get home field advantage through the World Series. That's the incentive that they're playing for, Your team might be out, but it just sucks, It rubs me the wrong way. God forbid, hypothetically, say the Pittsburgh Pirates, they're having a better year than previous years. Say they make the playoffs, they make a historic run, but the AL won the All Star game, and they don't get home field. That kind of sucks, doesn't it?
To me, Dill, I think it just gives them a reason to play hard.
Yeah.
Like, hey, my team is contention. Hey, fuck it, let's get home field while we're here. We're gonna come play in the game. Let's get home field while we're here. So that's why I think of it. Because remember, Dill, the NBA All Star Game wasn't competitive till they made that incentive. The winner gets home court advantage.
Yeah, and that's what and that's when it started to get more competitive. You started to see a much lower game
in the fourth.
Yeah, 100%. So can't wait for that. Elvis, good luck tonight. Good luck tomorrow. We got a few days off. I think the baseball returns on Friday afternoon. So they got a nice few days to return. Mets are staying out on the West Coast, so they don't have to travel too far. But before we get to our two-a-days, quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys, or an elderberry tonight, relaxing, watching the home run derby, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Elvis, we finally got here. NFL two-a-days. So you can't wait, right? I can't wait. I'm going. Me and Ant, co-host of AKP, we were talking. We were like, yo. I was creating a list of who's going week 1 Monday Night Football 9/11. Your name was up there.
Bob gotta go.
Kevin, Duba.
Hopefully Joey could come up.
Yeah.
Maybe a few other people, but those I guarantee will be. Well, I'm not gonna guarantee, but Bob is a guarantee. Ant is a guarantee. Me and you is a guarantee.
Let's see. Yeah. So right now I have 5 guarantees. Me, you, Ant, Kevin, and I already asked Rob, and Rob's a go. He said, fuck it, I'm a Met fan. Not a Met, I'm a Jet fan. I said, fuck it, baby, let's go.
Yeah,
hey, Z-Players, you're a Rams fan. Don't worry, we'll get there. We actually have a guest for the we actually have a guest.
Rams. I don't know. What day is the Rams?
Fuck, I don't. Of course, you asked me when I don't have the schedule in front of me, but it's in August. We're doing the AFC first, and then we're doing the NFC. I think I sent you the schedule.
Rams, August 28th. Z plays.
Oh yeah,
square, buddy. I'm gonna have props, win totals, specials, everything. Letting you know right now. Cooper Kupp.
Over.
You gonna stay healthy this year, boy?
I hope so. I don't know. We'll talk about that. I don't want to get ahead. Now he wants me to. I want to talk about the Rams right now. But let's start. Let's wait for the Jets. The best for last. Let's start with the Miami Dolphins. Why don't we?
All right. Now that we're officially starting to the NFL season, we're officially starting today.
Yes.
This is the last time I want to hear they save the best for last.
Why?
Bets.
Why?
Because y'all still, let's not get into this. You know why. But I'm going to let you live. Let the Dolphins go first.
We'll start with the division. Why not? They are third, plus 290 to win the division. For the AFC conference, they have the sixth best odds at 12-1. And do I even have to say the Super Bowl total? Like, they're not going to win. Let's be real. So I'll say it just out of respect. So for them to win the Super Bowl right now, they are 25-1. Let's start with the division first. Do you give them a chance if Tua is healthy? How do you like them going? Because they have a tough schedule.
Still, that schedule is brutal. Realistically, do they have a shot? It's very slim. Just because the Bills, we know what the Bills represent. Von Miller is returning people. The Jets just arguably got a top 10 quarterback of all time. Aaron Rodgers. I don't care what nobody says. Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. And then you got to at least respect the Patriots. You got to at least give us that. I understand you might not think, but you got to at least respect and have some fear for at least the Patriots now. It's respectable. At the end of the day, nobody in the NFL is going to see the Patriots on the calendar and be like, damn. They go back. That's a walkthrough. Nope. Come on now, Dill. So realistically, Dill, no, I don't see slim to none. If Tua stays healthy, but Miami's not winning this division, Dill. Flat out simple.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I think we could, if we don't think they're going to win the division, I don't think they're going to win the AFC at all, to be honest. I think they can make the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. I think they are a very good team. I just, the main question is quarterback. It's going to be Tua, his health. How is he going to do? How is Mike McDaniel going to be in his second year? How's the run game going to be? They have receivers. They have the defense. The defense is not the problem. I don't worry about the defense. Bradley Chubb in another year in that system, it's just going to be even better.
Some people say they have the best two corners in the league. I wouldn't go that far, but
they still picked up Jalen Ramsey, who's a Super Bowl winning champ. My boy Z players know.
You can't say a player's somebody's crazy if they say that.
No. Let's talk about something that I think we could actually bet on this team, their win total. Sitting around 9.5. It's at -110 both ways. Looking at their schedule, it was tough to get there, to be honest. I'll read you the schedule. I want you to tell me 10 games where they win. They start on the road the first 2 weeks in LA to take on the Chargers. I don't like them there, to be honest. I think that's a tough road. Then they go to New England. Sunday Night Football. You think Belichick's not going to have the boys pumped and ready to fucking play on Sunday Night Football, standalone game? You're fucking crazy. So that's a toss-up. On talent, on paper, they have the better team. But that doesn't also automatically mean that they're going to win. I don't even think they win that game. Denver, at home. I'll give it to them just because I still don't trust Russ. Then they go to Orchard Park to versus Buffalo. It's a tough task. That's early on the season. That's an L.
I'm going to give them a – you're not going to do it. That's enough.
Yeah. Then they come home and they play the Giants, who I think are going to regress heavily this season. I'll give them a win.
You give them that. I give them that.
I got 2 wins right now. Then they're home against Carolina. I think they're going through some growing pains. I'll give them a win there as well. Then they go on the road, take on the Eagles. I'll give them the win just because I'm not as high on the Eagles this year as a lot of people.
I'll give them that loss. I'll give them that one.
Okay, I got 4 wins.
In Miami.
No, it's in Philly.
I'm saying if they were in Miami, I would have gave them that one. In Philadelphia, nah.
I'll give them that. Then they come home and they play New England. I'll give them that one. I gave them a loss in New England. I think they split it. So I got 5 wins. And then before their bye, November 5th, they play Kansas City in Arrowhead. No, I'm sorry. Then coming off their bye, they're at home against Las Vegas. I like them there.
I gave them that.
Then they play this is the Black Friday game on Amazon Prime against my Jets in MetLife. Yeah, no, you're not winning that game. That's a bad man. Then they're on the road against Washington. I think they beat Washington. I got 6 wins. Oh no, I got 7. I'm sorry. Then they're home against Tennessee on a Monday Night Football. I'm gonna give them that loss. Going to Tennessee,
they're at home.
They're at home. Excuse me. Still Monday Night Football, December 11th. I think Tennessee's gonna be ready to play that game. I give me Vrabel and the boys. So I still got 7 wins. Then they're home against the Jets. I think they beat us. I think they split. Then they're home against the Cowboys. I think they win. I think they beat the Cowboys. I have 9 wins right now. Then they're at Baltimore. I don't think they win at the bank is a tough place to play at, and especially if the Baltimore Ravens are healthy and they're fighting for the division, they need that win. And then they're home against Buffalo to end the season. And I don't think they beat Buffalo any of the times. I sat at 9 wins, Elvis. I don't think they get it, to be honest. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Jet fan. You know, they return an electric offense. We know they added Jalen Ramsey. You know, it's a pass for me. I'm not going to bet the under because I could definitely see them winning Tennessee. I could maybe see them winning another game I gave them too, but there's just so many unknowns. The injuries, they have a tough schedule, especially early on. We just went their schedule. A lot of things have to go right for them. You know, and when they went on a losing streak last year, let's not forget that. They went on a losing streak last year when Tua got hurt. And they just never really recovered. They barely got into the playoffs and then they lost. So for me, I just think when the Dolphins, they're a tough team to figure out. And that's why I'm going to pass on their win total. You know, their ceiling is high, but we just don't know if Tua will be able to hold up for them. So if Tua gets hurt, they're a complete fade. I want no part of the Dolphins at that point, but they're a pass for me. How about you?
Still, give me the under 9.5 at -110. 2 plays on here, Dill. I understand, you know, last year when Tua was in the lineup, this team did start the season 7-0 with when Tua started and finished the game. They were 7-0 at one time. But Dill, then, you know, offensively they were starting to get exposed. I know this, you know, the injuries caught up to them, but that defense started, you know, getting a lot of explosive plays on them, especially down the stretch. We saw what Buffalo was able to do in the playoff game. And then, you know, Tua's injury. That's the biggest question mark there. So for me, smashing the under. There's no ifs, ands, or doubt. 9.5. I think, I agree with you, Dale. I think they potentially max out at 9. But I ain't stopping there. People, 8 wins at +650. I'm telling you right now, Dale, I'm taking them right now to win exactly 8 games at +650. Hammer it and remember your boy. By mistake.
See, I like because you could do on some books alternate win total, and I got the over 7.5, but it's at -280. Of course, they could win 8 games.
Win.
Win. Exactly. Okay, now we're cooking with some hot grease. Okay, let me see. Miami Dolphins. Let me go down. I apologize. Exactly 8 wins +650.
Trying to tell you. Trying to tell you. Pencil it in.
That's a nice little thing, especially if he gets hurt. I mean, we don't want to root for injuries, but if that does happen,
I'm saying healthy. I'm saying healthy. Yo, that schedule is brutal.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
You have any more plays? I could rattle off plays.
Yeah. I'm trying to go through the markets for everyone. That's why. Miami Dolphins to make the playoffs. Yes, -105. No, -115.
One of my plays. Give me no. I got it at -110, Dill. They made the playoffs last year. I don't think 8 wins gets you into the playoffs this year. I expect the Patriots to be a little better than what they was last year. If anything, we sneak into that 7th spot. So give me Miami 8 wins and not to make the playoffs.
Yeah, the AFC is just loaded with talent, man.
3 teams are going from the north. Ravens, Browns, Bengals.
See, we'll talk about the Browns very soon, but I do expect Deshaun to have a better year, but I just don't know about the Browns yet. I do think, and I expect, who I actually am high on? Well, just to preview a little bit, I'm actually very high on the Steelers. I think they're going to take the next jump. I'm very high on Kenny
I
Pickett.
expect them to be better, Dill, but I don't expect them to be double-digit wins. But
I
let's not jump.
Yeah. But the whole AFC is to make the playoffs. You got Kansas City, you got Buffalo, Cincinnati's going to be there. Jacksonville's going to win their division. The Chargers, the Ravens, the Jets are going to be good. The Patriots, even Tennessee. Don't sneak up on Tennessee. Like the Browns, they might be a sneaky team. And what if Sean Payton fucking turns the boat around and the Broncos are good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or if Jimmy G just realistically, you're not telling me Jimmy G can't game manage himself to 11 wins. I think he can. I give him a shot.
I give him a shot, but my hesitation, I don't think he stays healthy.
But remember, Josh Jacobs led the league in rushing.
They're going to need more than that.
Defense got better.
Yeah.
We're rushing. Dill. Any more on the Miami Dolphins? Because I got more plays.
Yeah, let's do player props for the Miami Dolphins. Do you have any there?
Dill, give me Tua under 3,800 and a half passing yards at -112. I just don't see it. Don't get me wrong, he has the receivers to do it. He has the talent, Dill, but I don't see Tua being like a 250, 240 plus, game passer average. Basically the average will be under 223 and a half. I see him around anywhere from like 190 to 220 max in passing yards.
How about touchdowns? Total touchdowns 25 and a half for him.
I didn't touch it just because I know I could show you better. I could explain it. When Tyreek or Jalen Waddle's in the backfield and that push handoff when it's
a pass. Yeah,
it's a pass. So I think they could score 8 or 10 touchdowns just off that in the goal line. So that's not him even throwing a pass, and it counts as a touchdown. So I will lean over just because that little push pass / handoff does count as a touchdown. And when you have Tyreek and Jalen Waddle on each side, I'm gonna be honest, that play's gonna get run a few times at the goal line.
Yeah, 100%. I do. I'd rather take his over touchdown passing than his passing yards. Does that make sense?
Passing yards, and I do lean his over touchdown. Just, like I said, just because those little passes, bro, Tyreek could literally just make one man miss, and he's going in. And Jay, don't disrespect both of them. Honestly,
what about receiving? Tyreek Hill plus 1,000 to lead the league in receiving. Now, this is all gonna, I guess, it all matters if Tua stays healthy. If Tua doesn't stay healthy, I think Tyreek and Jalen Waddle are down the drain. Do you not agree?
Not really, just because we saw, both of them still be 1,000-yard receivers.
That's true.
I think Tyreek had like 13.
He did have 13.
Yeah, so both of them were over 1,000. When my man, Tua only played 12 games. August 28th, Z. August 28th.
How about Jalen Waddle's total receiving yards, 1,050 and a half? I love the over there.
Still, I like the over just because I feel like teams will most likely tend to double coverage Tyreek Hill, especially if he's, hurts you in the first half. And I think Jalen Waddle is just going to eat you up through the middle. Both of them have the ability to catch a slant and break it 80 yards.
And I think Jalen Waddle's also taken that next step. We've seen it last year where he could beat one-on-one coverage, especially when it's zone.
All those wide receivers from Alabama are straight dogs. Ever since Amari Cooper came out in like 2015, every year they're straight dogs.
Yeah, I think that's a little disrespectful. I'll take the over with you on the Jalen Waddle one. There's no line unless you see on a different book for Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, you can't find no total on Tyreek. I don't know why, but I do like Jalen's over.
Yeah, I'll take that one as well. Anything else for Miami? That's all I have for Miami.
Not to make the playoffs, and then 2 under, and then 8 exact games under total wins.
All right. Miami, good luck. You'll need it. because this is a juggernaut division. Don't get it twisted. I know the odds for the Patriots are very low because of the star quarterbacks of the other three, but Bill Belichick will have those boys ready to play. I like to make fun and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, they will be competitive in this division. I think the AFC East and the AFC North are the two best divisions in the AFC, to be honest. That's my take.
The West.
The West is okay. It's top heavy. The Chiefs are good and the Chargers are good. Broncos were not good. Vegas is not good.
I believe the Broncos will be better.
They have to be. If Sean Payton doesn't come in and make me better.
They're a top 5 defense. Could we agree on that? They're a top 5 defense. They were top 2 last year. They were. They were number 2 points per game, Dale. They were number 1 through week 15 weeks. You ought to give them that. And then offensively, it's only up from there. They can't be worse than what they were last year. Could we at least agree on that?
Yeah, I could agree with that.
That's my take on that, Dale. The defense still top 5 defense, and the offense they can't be any worse than they were last year. Honestly, that's impossible.
Yeah, I agree, but I do think the teams as a collective whole are better in the North and the East.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying, the West there.
Yeah, let's get to the Jets. Plus 250. No, you're good. Plus 250 to win the division. Second shortest odds compared to the Bills at plus 130. To win the AFC, they are plus 1,000. They have the 5th best odds, tied for the Baltimore Ravens. And then to win the Super Bowl, they are 16 to 1. They have the 7th best odds behind the Cowboys. Whew. We will start with the division. You give us a chance to beat the Bills.
Yo, sorry that I got to say this, but I do give you a shot just because one thing that I honestly do believe in, that Madden curse is real, Dill. The Madden curse might be real this season. It wouldn't shock me if this is the year Josh Allen. I hope nothing happens to the kid. But that's the only shot, because I do think the Bills are going to win the division, Dill. But the only way they don't, if the kid gets hurt. So I hope he don't get hurt. And that's the only way y'all win the division, because y'all not beating the Bills twice this year. And that's the only chance y'all got winning the division. Y'all beat them twice, and y'all not.
Did we beat them twice last season?
Remember
when we heard them?
No, we wasn't there.
No, we weren't there. When we hurt Josh Allen, he was never the same after that.
His elbow.
I think we beat him week 1 again. I really do. I think we beat him. Our defense is there. It's our offense. I want to see how the chemistry looks week 1. We got a lot of standalone games. They're putting us on Hard Knocks, which I don't like. I think we have a chance as long as Aaron Rodgers is MVP Aaron Rodgers, and our running game, and obviously injuries are a factor, but if we could stay healthy, I give us a puncher's chance. I think we're going to be neck and neck with the Bills. I think it's going to come down to 1 or 2 games. It might come down to facing them, especially week 1. So Z Players makes a good point. Rodgers statistically or typically doesn't really have bad week 1. So like that Monday Night Football, he loves New York.
I remember that 2 years ago, he got blown out versus the Saints. Last year, he got blown out versus Minnesota. Remember, Minnesota steamed them.
Minnesota blew them out.
And then 2 years ago, they got blown out by the Saints with Jameis Winston at quarterback.
Shout out Jameis Winston, man. I love Jameis. I think he's a quarterback, man. I really think, people are dicking him around. I don't want to get off topic too much, but he deserves to be a starter. But we'll talk about that in a little. But yeah, I think the Jet fan in me wants to think we could win, but the Jets will jet. So you know how that goes sometimes. So we might lose, but I think there is value there. Honestly, I think there's more value on winning the AFC, to be honest. It's at plus 1,000. Don't know if we do that. I don't think we win the Super Bowl this year, but I think there's a fighter's chance, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. So I'll take the Jets to win the division. To be honest, I think we have a chance. I gotta do something here, bud. Let's go to the win total. Something we could both touch on. Over under 9.5. Elvis, I'll let you start here. What do you got?
Dill, give me the over. I think the Jets win exactly 10 games. I do. It wouldn't shock me if y'all get to 11, but it also wouldn't shock me if y'all get stuck at 9 either, just because it's
It's a
some
tough schedule.
tough schedule. The division is tough. It's a tough schedule, Dill. But I do believe y'all get to the over, and I think y'all get to exactly 10 wins.
Yeah, which like looking at the schedule, we could go through it in a sec. 6 standalone games, like I was mentioning. We're on Amazon Prime Night, the Black Friday. We're on Monday night, first game of the week on Monday Night Football. We have a lot of Sunday night football games as well. Only 2 1 p.m. games before December. 8 of the first 11 games are against playoff teams.
Dill, by the way, Jets
Yeah.
plus 550 to win exactly 10 games.
Ooh, I like that as well. Ooh, that you're getting a little sneaky win. I like that, to be honest. I might bet that one.
I'm telling
Uh yeah, obviously a lot of buzz around this team with the addition of Aaron Rodgers. I'm extremely confident they're a much better football team. It's just not a minor change that they made. The Jets go from starting a backup in either Mike White or Zach Wilson to a 2-time MVP, not far removed. Don't forget, just because they had an off year last year, the back-to-back years he was the MVP of the league. Let's not forget that. But the schedule is very tough. And I'm not one of those people who thinks Aaron Rodgers has fallen off. People like to jump on him because he took the darkness retreat. He likes to take psychedelics. I wish all my players took psychedelics. I'll say that, to be honest. I think they'll play better. But, I just think I'm just not one of those guys that thinks he's fallen off. I think what we saw last year with Green Bay is more like the inexperience in the wide receiver room, not really him. So I think there's gonna be a lot of moving pieces. And when it comes to game day, we could see odds for all these games in week 1, week 2 matchups, but I think there's gonna be a lot of moving pieces when it comes to game day. We know the Jets have an elite defense, they have a top 5 defense. They're only an underdog as of right now in 5 games. 2 of them are at home. Chiefs right now, hypothetically, could obviously move, but we play the Chiefs at home in week 4, and right now the Chiefs are only a 1-point favorite. 9.5. It's the highest win total for the Jets since 2011. We won 7 games last season, essentially with not a quarterback. I gotta be on the over here. I already put my ticket in. I'm ashamed to let you know how much I put on the over, just because I really believe in this team. We won 7 games with with a guy who no one really trusted. So I think Aaron Rodgers is worth at least 3 wins. I like the exactly 10, to be honest. I think there's 10 wins. Let's go through them. Monday Night Football, I have them winning that.
I got an L on that one. I'm gonna be real. You gotta be a realist. That's a loss.
Okay.
Loss.
All right, but we're just saying for me right now. Then at the Cowboys, I think they could win that. I'm not high on the Cowboys at all. Then we go to then we're home. We come home. We play New England. I think we win that. Then we're home against Kansas City. I think we lose that. We're on the road against Denver. I think we win that game. Then we're home against the Philadelphia. That could be a bad spot right before the bye week. I'll chalk it up as a loss.
That's gonna be a great one. We're going to that.
Yeah, should be a good game. Then we have our bye. Then we're technically we're the away team, but we're playing home. We're playing the Giants. I think we smoke them. That's 5 wins. Then it's a Monday night game in home against the Chargers. I think that's a tough one for us. I don't think we win that.
I think that wins.
Then we're on the road taking on Vegas. I think we win that.
You got real quick, you got to take account of the bye week, though. I think y'all going to get a real good game plan that week, and y'all going to come out. Whatever wasn't firing first 5 weeks of the season is gonna come out firing against the Chargers. That's why I got.
Yeah, but our bye week and then we play the Giants.
Oh, my fault, my fault, my fault.
Yeah.
But
So we played.
I'm not gonna destroy the Chargers.
So I got 6 wins because I got us beating the Raiders. Then we're on the road to Orchard Park. I think that's the one we split. So we lose that. I think we beat Miami home. Then we're home against the Atlanta Falcons. I have us winning that. Then we're home against Houston. I have us winning that. We're at 9 wins for me. Then we're on the road against Miami. I think we lose that one on the road. Then home against Washington. I think we win that. I'm at 10 games right now. Then we're on the road against Cleveland, which that's a Thursday night game. That could be a very tough game. I'm not going to lie.
In Cleveland.
Yeah, I have us losing that game.
Same.
And then the last game of the season, it could be a toss-up. If the Patriots have a bad year, I think we could win. If they're competitive, I think we could lose that. I think we split that.
I feel if we needed the win to get into the playoffs, y'all losing the game in Foxborough. We're not gonna lose and miss the playoffs in Foxborough. That's why I got it chalked up for loss. Just because I feel like we're gonna need the win to get in. Yeah. If we're clinched as the 6th seed or the 7th seed already,
you're not making the playoffs. Yeah. What? I said, or you're just not in contention to make the playoffs. Then yeah.
No, but they'll play. But I'm talking about they're not gonna play to win. Well, to really make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I feel like we'll be in conditions to make the playoffs, and I think we're just not gonna go out there and lose that game.
Yeah, I agree. I like the exactly 10 wins as well. So I like that.
Like I said, I could possibly get to 11. It wouldn't shock me one bit. I get 11. But
no, 100%.
If Aaron Rodgers slips up a game or two either,
Yeah, 100%. I also like the Jets to make the playoffs at -134.
-134. I think people gotta lock that in now more than we get closer to the season or even when the season starts. Because I'm telling you right now, as soon as Aaron Rodgers have the uniform on making throws, the hype is gonna come rolling in, and this number is gonna shoot up. I'm telling you right now.
Let's go to player props. Let's start with Aaron Rodgers. You were talking about him. Let's do season total passing touchdowns, 27.5. Do you like that? That's kind of high.
To me, I do like him to possibly get to 30 deal, so I'll lean the over. I'm just not going to go to the window with it just because I feel like, with the running back depth, you have, Breece Hall coming back. I expect him to have not a bounce back year because he was off to a stellar start, but I expect him to look more than how he started the season last year, which is possibly a Pro Bowler. So I think Pro Bowl. Breece Hall is possibly a Pro Bowl running back, so I expect him to have a huge year. So, goal line, I don't see them trying to force it when you have those two young studs at running back deal. So, I'm not going to bet it, but it wouldn't shock me if it goes over.
Yeah, it's a stay away. What I do like is his passing yards. It's at 3,800.5. That's it's extreme. It's so disrespectful. I honestly, I think Aaron Rodgers sets the all-time Jets passing record. He's definitely going to have a much better season than he did last year. His pieces in his supporting cast is much better. I don't know about drafting him for fantasy reasons, but I definitely think he's going to have a better season. I think he's a top 10, top 15 fantasy quarterback this season for me. But, he's coming off one of his worst fantasy seasons. He had 0 games with 20 points or better last season. That won't happen this season. I could guarantee you that. And, in fantasy, we also like to look towards quarterbacks who can run the ball. He's not getting any younger. I don't think he's going to be running the ball, but I do like the over passing yards, 3,800. He went over this last season. He went over this, obviously, his 2 MVP seasons. He's gone over this number in 3 straight years, even with the bad year. I think the addition of Garrett Wilson, they brought their boy Cobb in. They brought Lazard in. I think he goes over there. That's so disrespectful. What about you?
Same deal. Think about it. I think the supporting cast that he has on the Jets this year is much better than what he had to start last season. Midway through the season, he finally, starting to build a core with some of the receivers he had, but that came late. Remember, they were just all young studs. He had to, adapt. Devontae Adams just left. Now he goes to the Jets. You have Garrett Wilson, arguably one of the best young studs in the game. You bring Allen Lazard, who's above average wide receiver. You still got Alex Cobb. So I definitely like the weapons he have this year more than last year, and he went over last year. I think it's an easy bet though.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I love it. I think it's very disrespectful, to be honest. Let's go to the running back, Brees Hall. He's coming back from an ACL injury. This one is a tough one to bet just because I don't know what they're going to do in the running back room. I don't know if they're going to bring Dalvin Cook in. They're doing their homework, and it seems like a lot of teams in the AFC East are doing it. The New England Patriots, the Miami Dolphins are doing their homework on him. So we'll see where he lands up. If he doesn't land up with the Jets, I do like Brees Hall to go over this number, 875.5. I think he had 465 rushing yards, and I think he only played like 6-7 games, and then he got hurt. So he got hurt in October 23rd. That was his last game against Denver when they won. He had 4 carries for 72 yards. The game before that against Green Bay, he had 116. He had 100 against Miami. He had 67 against a good Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Like, the kid is coming along, and he just got hurt. If he didn't get hurt, he would have went over that number last season.
And think about it, Dill. The running game is just going to flourish now more with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. They definitely had, especially last season, they definitely had one DB in the box. This year, definitely probably play. They're going to see way more cover too with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. So I think Brees Hall, I'm with you, Dill. I'm smashing the over. It wouldn't shock me if this kid goes over 1,000 yards, Dill. So I like Brees Hall over 875.5. Minus 112. I don't know what you called it at, but I got minus 112.
Yeah, it's at minus 112 both ways, just, so they have some protection, the books. Let's go to Garrett Wilson. He's a wide receiver number 1. He's going to be a top 10 fantasy receiver for me. I think he does take that next step. He had a great season. He was the rookie offensive player of the year. I think it would have went to Brees Hall, to be honest, if he never got hurt. But that's neither here or there. He had a good year. He had 83 catches for 1,103 yards. He had 4 touchdowns, not the most touchdowns, but he was averaging over 13.5 yards per catch. Now we're sitting at a total of 1,125 for only 25 more yards. Give me the over with Aaron Rodgers. He's going to give him the ball. That's another home. I don't know what's going on with these numbers, but you got to get him in now because, like Elvis said, the closer we do get to preseason and to the regular season, these numbers are not going to be there. So I like the over for Garrett Wilson. What about you?
Till this one I smashed already. Ready in play. Yeah. The fact that it's so low is disrespectful. I think to me it should have been like 1275.
At least, right?
Yeah, I think he gets to 1,300. I think he gets to at least 1,250. Yeah. I think minimum is 1,200. I think he possibly hits 1,300.
And I would understand this number if it was Zach Wilson or Mike White still, but they got Aaron fucking Rodgers. Like, I don't understand that. You got a Hall of Famer, a 2-time MVP winner, and you only put the number up 20 more yards? I'll take it. I just don't get it. I feel like I could be a bookmaker sometimes, but yeah, man, I like that. So to conclude, for the Jets, I took Brees Hall over rushing yards. I took Garrett Wilson over rushing yards. I took the Jets to make the playoffs. I took Aaron Rodgers over his passing yards, not the touchdown passing, just because I don't know if he'll get to 27.5. That's a high number, just because the Jets do like to run the ball. I like the Jets over win total. I'm not going to touch them with the division. I know I was saying I like them to win the division, but that was just my bias coming out. But those are my official plays. I kind of like the props a little more.
We're basically aligned, Dill, and that's kind of scary, but I'm going to be honest, Dill, it's very probable. Just to make the playoffs, minus 134. Over 9.5 wins. 10 wins exactly to win 10 games. 550. Plus 550. I like that one a lot. Wilson, over 1125. To me, that's disrespectful. Brees Hall, over 875.5. To me, kid is a stud. He's going to go for 1,000. Easy if he plays all 17 games.
Yeah.
And then Aaron Rodgers, 38.5. Just the fact that him and Tua have the same season total is disrespectful. The fact that this guy did it last year with less talent, come on now. in Green Bay. Weather's a little better in Jersey than Green Bay now.
Yeah, especially later on. Like it does get cold over here on the East Coast, but nothing like Green
In
Bay.
December, it's still 32 sunny. Or
Shout out Joey D from our first pod ever, where he said the frozen tundra. Legendary. I'll never forget that. But yeah, I brought that up just because when it does get to December, January, you don't want to go and play in Green Bay. They have an advantage over there in the cold.
November.
So, yeah, November. Fuck it. Fuck December. November, it's freezing up there. But yeah, you're right. The reason I didn't mention any rushing yards for Aaron Rodgers because they don't have them. They do have them on some running back quarterbacks, kind of like Lamar, Josh Allen, and we'll get to that when we talk about them. But Elvis, this was great. I fucking love talking about football. I feel like we could have done this I feel like we could have done this the whole pod just talking football, but we got to talk about baseball a little bit. But yeah, we'll talk about your Patriots next on Saturday morning. We will talk about the Buffalo Bills as well. So yeah, keep locking in with us. We're gonna do AFC North next. No, we're doing AFC South next. Then we're doing AFC North. Then we're doing AFC West. So we're gonna do 2-a-days until I think around the Hall of Fame game. And then once football starts back, we'll be down 3 times a week as per usual during the football season. But Elvis, that's going to do it. Thank you. We went a little over our time, but that's all right. We got to talk football for the fans. Any last words before we get you watching the Home Run Derby and All Star Game tomorrow?
It was good. I don't know about the All Star Game, but if you're down to watch
I'm down to watch it, man. Yeah, so come through, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Z Players, you want a review of the Home Run Derby picks? Yeah, so for me, I took Lewis Roberts outright. I also took Vlad Guerrero Jr. In the round 1 matchups, the only one I took was Adolis Garcia over Randy Arozarena. I took the longest home run under 490 and a half feet. I took Pete Alonso over 21 and a half home runs in the first round. So that's all I took. Elvis, you want to do a quick review of your home run derby picks?
Julio to win the first round over Pete at plus 124, Julio Rodriguez. And then I took Julio Rodriguez to win it all at plus 500. And then I took to hit the longest home run of the night, just the longest ball, 1 home run. I took Vlad Guerrero at plus 340. And then plus 240, Peter Alonso. I think one of those two hits the ball around 480, 485.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Elvis. And that's going to do it for this Monday edition of the Dream Wager. We will be back Saturday morning for the next edition of the Dream Wager on behalf of Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself. We'll see you guys in a few days. So please follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. Like I said, we're on YouTube now. So youtube.com/The Dream Wager. Subscribe, rate, review, grab your mom's phone, grab your dad's phone, grab your friend's phone, have them subscribe, have their friends subscribe, just have everyone subscribe. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend, everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.